Okay, so welcome everyone. My name is Edith McKenzie. I'm with Northern Lakes College, and we are going to be with PMAC doing the Asset Management Professional for Municipal Teams information session today. So there's just a few things I just wanted to start with, just so you know where to find all the tools as we go through this. This is Blackboard Collaborate that we use for our online classroom teaching, and this is what you're in right now. So the microphone is in the bottom middle, as well as the hand if you want to raise your hand if you have some questions. We will be going through the presentation first and then doing a Q&A. If you have questions you want to post, please do so in the chat. We'll answer the ones we can, and the other ones we'll wait until the presentation's over, and then we will get them answered for you then. Please go to the chat and just post which municipality you're with, and if there are others that are joining you for this presentation today. We would just like to start that Northern Lakes College respectfully acknowledges that we are located on Treaty 8 territory and Métis Nation of Alberta Regions 5 and 6, the traditional lands of First Nations and Métis people. And if you go to our website, we do have a link to Truth and Reconciliation page, so please do check that out. So I just briefly mentioned where you can find your microphone and hand. It's down in that bottom middle. For the chat, you're just going to open up that purple chevron on the bottom right, get to the Everyone channel, and you can post all your chats there, your questions there. And that's it for what we're going to cover for that, for the chat. So it's there. I am going to hand this over to Nicole Guillen with PMAC, Asset Management Association of Canada, to get this information session started.
Thank you, Edith, and Monica as well, from Northern Lakes College, who are joining us today. My name is Nicole Guillen, as Edith said. I'm the Professional Development Manager, Education Professional Development Manager at PMAC, Asset Management Association of Canada. I'm joined also by Cliff Williams today, who is he's going to speak a little bit later about our AMP program. Cliff has a vast and deep wealth of knowledge when it comes to the program, and so we're delighted to have him here with us today. I'm going to do a little bit of introduction to PMAC, just very brief for those of you who don't know who we are, and then we'll dive right into the Asset Management Professional Program. I know you're all here today. Thank you for joining us to learn more about that program and the special delivery of it that we are able to do because of an FCM grant that we've been awarded recently. So we have some examples as well of participating municipalities in past programs that we'll talk about, as well as a period, as Edith said, for questions. So you can chat your questions along the way, or in the chat box, or simply hang on to them until we get to the question period. But we're certainly more than happy to answer any of your questions today and beyond, if you think of things afterwards. So PMAC, if you don't know, PMAC Asset Management Association in Canada, we're a Canadian, a professional not-for-profit association that enables excellence in maintenance, reliability, and asset management through the collaboration, applied learning, and leadership. Our motto is connect, learn, and contribute, and we also have a level of recognition that you can achieve as well by being connected with PMAC. This is really just a snapshot of the variety of initiatives and ways you can get involved with PMAC. And today we're going to really focus on that learn category, and more specifically the Asset Management Professional Program, but there's a lot more to PMAC that you can certainly stay involved with as a member or as not. But you'll find that we do have local chapters across the country. There may very well be one nearby you. This map just shows a sampling of where these are. These chapters host themselves a lot of local events, and certainly are starting to get back to face-to-face, but some are still offering online as well, so they're very accessible from anywhere. To stay connected with your peers and like-minded professionals in your region locally. We are a member organization and have a variety of members that represent different sectors, both public and private, as well as a wide range of industries as well. So you'll see that the variety of member organizations here, but all have a common passion, like you, around asset management and ensuring that that things are running smoothly and efficiently. So we have a lot of national events as well. I won't get into the details, but I want to point you to pmac.org/events, where you will find a listing of those chapter events, as well as our monthly lunch and learns. We have a number of them coming up where anyone can participate in these variety of events that are hosted that will certainly provide more knowledge around a variety of topics that are interesting to you. PMAC also hosts a national conference, and this year's main train conference is September 19th to the 21st. We usually have over 300 delegates and 40 presentations. There's an exhibitor hall. There's a great opportunity to gather CPD credits if you're doing that for your own profession and other certifications. We have the call for abstracts open. It has been extended, so we are still accepting presentation topics if you're interested in presenting and have a great story to tell at the conference this year. And registration is also available. It will be in person in Toronto for the in-person portion, but there's also an online version in this year's hybrid event. So it is definitely accessible from anywhere, and I invite you to visit our website to learn more about the conference and how you can be involved in that. PMAC is also contributing globally. So whether it's that member or a founding member of the global associations, there are GFMAM, as well as the World Partners in Asset Management, PMAC is participating in these global forums, contributing to global thinking, as well as bringing back the best practices from around the world to those within Canada and sharing. So you're not just connected to Canadian organizations and best practices through PMAC, you're definitely connected to the world as well through us and connected to these associations. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce Cliff here, who will delve into a little bit more about the Asset Management Professional Program that we're going to talk about today. We have a number of other educational programs as well, but Cliff will delve into the Asset Management Professional Program in the next few slides. Cliff is I could spend a long time talking about him. He's very knowledgeable, and he is a director on the PMAC's board of directors. He's the program designer of the AMP program, as well as an instructor. He helps to support many of the curriculum revisions, etc. So he is well versed on all of these topics today, and certainly can give you more insight into the program and why it would benefit you and your organization. Whenever you're ready, over to you, Cliff.
Thank you, Nicole. Do I have control of the slides, or do I?
You do.
Yes, I do. Perfect. Okay, so try and live up to some of the things that Nicole said, but yeah, I can certainly tell you about the program. And what does it provide for the organizations and the municipalities that we see joining us? And it's great to see that a number of people who are joining today are from organizations that we know we've had other people through in our previous cohort. So it's great to see that we are getting that one language, and we're able to build a one team. As we all speak the same and understand the rationale for asset management and what it's supposed to deliver, we can really pull together as a team. What it gives you an opportunity to look at some improvement tools. You're all, I'm sure, doing very well in your municipalities, but there's always room for improvement. And so the different approaches of asset management may well, offer you some new opportunities for creating improvement. It is focused on the ROI. You do want to, asset management is focused on value, and that's what you're looking at is, are we getting value for our inputs? It's one of the drivers from FCM is that they really want Canadian municipalities to be able to get the biggest value out of their dollars that they can, and provide that value to their stakeholders, the residents and the businesses that exist in your municipalities. And it's great to see the different areas of the municipalities involved in the course, and we've seen this where we have 5 completely kind of different areas of a municipality all on the same course, and that is tremendous for having cross-functional alignment, which is a key concept within asset management. So, okay, who's it for? If your title's not up here, don't worry, we'll put it up there, because asset management and the program is designed for anyone at the municipality. It really is. We have had from some municipalities frontline workers, the maintenance people. And then we have CAOs, and today we have joining us is a counselor. It's for anyone. It really is for all those people who are at the municipalities and really deliver value for the stakeholders, as I say, for the residents or for the businesses that exist in your municipality. So a little bit more about the asset management program. So the asset management program is made up of 6 courses. The first course is called Asset Management Principles and Strategic Development. And this is where we start to dispel the myth that asset management is simply another form of maintenance management. In this overview, we look at all of the components that go into holistic asset management, starting with your organization's strategic objectives, ending up with the tools in hand tasks that will really enable the achievement of those objectives. We briefly look at the risks that may occur, the leadership needed to build on an inclusive culture, the knowledge, the skills, information requirements, as well as the life cycle tactics needed to employ so that we can ensure that we derive the most value from the assets. So having taken this course, the participants should be able to define the key principles of asset management, explain asset management policy and its development, explain the asset management strategy and its development, identify the requirements for developing asset management plans, identify the principles of asset management decision making, identify the principles of risk mitigation and contingency planning, recognize the key elements of the design and the acquisition phase, and recognize the key elements of operations and the maintenance phase. And when we get to the end of that cycle, they should be able to identify the principles of asset rationalization for renewal or for disposal. Course 2 focuses on asset management capabilities development. And if I have to choose a course that I like the best, this is probably it, because it's a really enjoyable course that looks at what type of leadership we need to develop the culture that we want. That's where I like to be. It looks at relationships within the organization, as well as with the stakeholders outside of the organization. It looks at how we develop the skills we need, both hard skills and soft skills. What needs to change? And more importantly, how to manage that change. With the text that we use for this module, we'll see examples of how successful leaders have performed and get an understanding of the attitudes and approaches that allow us to succeed. And in my opinion, this module should be mandatory for anyone moving or hoping to move up in an organization. At the end of this course, participants should be able to explain the key concepts, terms, definitions used when developing organizational capability, evaluate organizational structures, Evaluate teams and individuals to identify changes to the roles and responsibilities. Describe a change management strategy. State the basic principles of project management. Describe asset management improvement project in terms of work activities and the required resources. Explain the benefit of investing organizational resources in asset management improvement projects. Identify key requirements for products, services, and information. Explain how collaborative customer, supplier, stakeholder contacts should enhance the value proposition. And describe the key support systems needed for a holistic asset management culture. Course 3 focuses on risk management and performance improvement. This module helps us understand the importance of evaluating risk and then reacting to what we find. Asset management and ISO 55000 are very, very much risk-driven processes. And so this is a key component that you need to understand to be successful in asset management. What this course does, it takes the intent of another ISO standard, ISO 31000, and it applies it in an asset management environment. And it covers everything from risk to strategic objectives, down to the risk of your asset not actually functioning or being fit for purpose. You learn the various ways of dealing with risk. You will look within your organization, and in all likelihood, you will come up with some surprising findings. By the end of the module, you will have identified risks, made a decision on what you're going to do about them, and have a plan and task to reduce the consequence of the risks. In every situation, there will be risks. Using this module as a template, you can feel confident that you will contribute to your organization's risk management program. At the end of this course, you should be able to apply risk management in the ISO asset management context. You should be able to describe risk management governance, strategic and operational processes, risk applications in general, as well as in specific business sectors. Prepare risk management plans and identify risks using various techniques. Rank risks using various processes and techniques. Apply various risk quantification techniques. Then prepare risk treatments using generic and specific strategies. Last but not least, monitor and review the risks and manage the risk feedback program and understand the performance improvement through lessons learned, etc., and improve your risk management at the organization. Course 4, this focuses on developing and implementing asset lifecycle delivery activities. And it's one of the things that is different about asset management than other types of maintenance management, in that this looks at real life cycle activities. And by looking at these, you should be able to improve the quality by recognizing the importance of the asset life cycle delivery that I mentioned. It really has an impact on the activities, on what you do and how you achieve your compliance or your legislative requirements, and making sure that you are in fact doing the right things at the right time on the right equipment. It focuses very much on the physical side, the physical equipment, and how you can help derive value from all of that. It identifies the different asset lifecycle delivery activities, such as asset creation, acquisition, asset operation and maintenance, and asset disposal. You should be able to recognize the importance of the operating or the service levels, or levels of service, as you term it in the municipalities, of assets and performance and standards in their current operating context. Are we achieving the levels of service that are desired? If not, why not? What is going on? What are we doing different that we need to change in order to reach those levels of service at the agreed cost that council has approved and you are trying to achieve. You use the process that will describe the concept of asset function. What's it supposed to do? What's it supposed to deliver? A functional failure and a failure mode, how can it fail? And what's the effect of that failure? And you do that analysis. You should be able to determine how you can evaluate the consequences of those failures and to select the appropriate proactive maintenance tasks to prevent that failures or to mitigate that failures or to lessen that failures by doing the right things or measuring the right measures or having the right conditions assessed. You will learn how to determine how to select appropriate default maintenance tactics. For the various failure modes, there may not be proactive maintenance tasks, and so you need to understand default tactics. You recognize the fact that it really doesn't matter how well you maintain everything. If you don't operate it correctly, it won't deliver the levels of service that you want. And you will look at in what ways can you identify the failures and how can you find out those failures that unless you actually seek them, you won't be aware of until unfortunately something like a resident complains. So we look at things like that. You learn how to develop the implementation plan to prioritize, plan, and schedule the maintenance deliveries and all the activities. You will take a little look at reliability engineering and root cause analysis so that you can, in fact, identify the cause of those failures. And you determine then how to apply the cost-benefit analysis and looking at life cycle costing, not just the acquisition cost. It's too many times we will have siloed departments where engineering may decide that they will purchase a certain piece of equipment, procurement may have input into say that they have to take the lowest bid, and operations and maintenance have to live with it. That's not asset management. And that really is what you will learn in course 4. In course 5, the focus is on asset knowledge management. And one of the most common comments that we have these days about asset management is that it's walking out of the door and it's not coming back, and it's doing so at an alarming rate. So this course looks at what systems do we need? How can we retain some of this knowledge? This really is what the module is about. And we look back at the other modules and build on the previous modules to look at how do our systems demonstrate that we are actually working in support of our strategic objectives. Why are we monitoring things? Why are we measuring things? What systems do we have? What measures do we use? How do we ensure that our efforts and the systems are aimed? So many times we look at examples and we see that we have 5 systems doing the exact same thing. We have 5 systems doing different parts of the same thing, and people can't have access to them. So we need to look at how do we have that interoperability, and how can we take advantage of all the good work we're doing in collecting data. And sometimes we find that we are not collecting data, and this system and this module help us look at how we can address that. And outside of the municipalities, it's coming, things like smart cities. We move to big data and the industrial Internet of Things. And this is all the management of data. And that what we're looking for is that we then are able to take correct data, the data that has good integrity, we can turn that into information, and then we can create wisdom for all the people that are working at our organization, at the town or municipality, sorry. At the end of the course, we'll identify the the full asset information life cycle, not just the life cycle of the asset, but the information required from concept to disposal, and the kind of ecosystem that's required for information types and applications to be used across the asset life cycle. You learn how to develop and implement asset information strategies for departments of the business. And the result is that we make better and more informed decisions regarding the frequency and type of asset-related data and knowledge that we should be capturing, and not just capturing, but leveraging, using it to meet the department or the company's business objectives. And we'll recognize the role and develop the strategies for the use of industry standards, such as ISO 14224, as part of their asset information management strategy. It ensures standardization, implements strategies and tactics to leverage asset information as a shared corporate asset, and foster collaboration across participants, departments, companies, and industry. When you look at asset management, you will see that information is an asset. It's not something that we've thought about before. We will look at asset management and see things like our procurement system could be or should be an asset. Are we getting value out of our RFP, RFQ processes? Because that's what we're looking for in asset management. And we'll look at how to implement strategies and tactics to address the changing demographics that's going on, capturing knowledge. When we look at where we are today in COVID versus where we were pre-COVID, and the advancements in the technologies, in the techniques, and the processes that have been made, and when we look at actually how we actually work within the municipality. I know one municipality that I am working with at the moment has a huge task force to actually try and identify how do we come back from COVID and how that will work and what systems will be required for that to work properly. So that's what we're looking at, and we're looking to use the idea of information. We're looking at the idea of retaining as much knowledge as we can so that we can then still deliver the value that's required by the stakeholders. Course 6 is the capstone, and it's a project, and it's where we pull it all together. At the capstone project, you will identify a key asset within your organization, and then you will run it through the asset management framework, right from how does it affect the strategic objectives, what's its impact and influence, all the way through to what tasks are we doing day to day when we operate or maintain that asset, and everything else in between. Along the way, we're going to understand that what we need to look at is not just, okay, how does maintenance do maintenance, or how do operators do operations, but we need to look at things like, how does IT affect their ability to provide value? How does HR, by providing the right skills and competencies, how do they affect the ability to provide value? How does procurement affect? How do customer services affect the ability? And we look at that as a holistic viewpoint. And we build a project describing how we will in fact use asset management to ensure that your chosen asset provides the value to the municipality and continues to do so, not just today, but in the future, because flowing through the asset management process and through the courses is so the notion that we're not just working for today. We have to be looking at future demand and making sure that the decisions that we are making today reflect that, the possibility of demand or our our best guess at the demand, and we're making sure that we're setting ourselves up to succeed. So that's the asset management program. Are you going to take over again, Nicole, or?
Sure, I can do this and then get into the rest of the details. So this Cliff went through each of the courses and sort of what you're going to learn and who it's for. And so I'll just share that this course was developed in support of a grant from the province of Ontario in 2013, and it is designed and maintained by PMAC members, subject matter experts. So, you know, with leading experts that are most definitely working professionals as well. So people that have the experience and in-depth knowledge are the ones that are helping to build and support this curriculum. You definitely won't find any consulting services or product sales. And really in this course, it's not a specific formula, as Cliff says. We just kind of get you thinking about asset management from different perspectives. So the program is aligned with the bodies of knowledge, the leading maintenance and asset management professional associations, including ISO standards and the GFMAM landscape. And instructors are typically practicing professionals that you'll find in each of the courses. So they're able to you know, put the curriculum into the real life examples that are relevant to you and your organization. Successful completion of those 6 courses will qualify participants for the CAMP certification, so the Certified Asset Management Professional certification and the right to use CAMP designation behind your name. This is a recognized program and certification, and growing in recognition as well across Canada and the world. The program also qualifies participants for continuing education units, including for engineers and engineering technologists and others. I know water and wastewater operators, etc. So other certificates, you can use this also for continuing education units. The educational component also qualifies as part of the knowledge elements of some brand new PMAC globally aligned certifications that we have that are more competency based. So this program certainly will set you on the right foot for education and recognition and making better decisions, as Cliff says. So we're here today, most of us, because PMAC has recently been awarded a grant from FCM and the Canadian government in the MAMP program, and because of that, we're able to deliver this asset management professional program to cross-functional municipal teams. And so I'll provide you a little bit more detail here on what that looks like, and kind of the details of the initiative that we're kicking off this week. So this program is intended for cross-functional municipal teams that can learn together from organizations across the country. So any size municipality or others that and as Cliff said, a number of different departments within the organization. People are learning. There's elected officials taking it with senior management, with other people in finance or operations, etc. So they're learning together, and that's the goal: is learning together to be able to bring that information back and collaborate within your own municipality and have a bigger impact. The initiative is offered through the Municipal Asset Management Program, which is delivered by the Federation of Canadian Municipalities and funded by the Government of Canada. So this grant opportunity that PMAC has been awarded is allowing us to deliver this program to municipalities and at a significantly reduced tuition. We are partnering with Northern Lakes College to deliver this special offering of the AMP program, and they do a fantastic job of the AMP program in the general public offering as well. So it's certainly a great partnership and through this college. The program begins with course 1, and I'll show you some of the dates in a little bit, in May. So we're kicking it off right away in May 2022, and the courses will run consecutively through until November 2023, when the funding finishes. So the grant is available until November 2023. So we do need to get through the 6 courses of that program by that time, which does mean it's a little bit more compressed than taking it one per semester, but you'll see in a moment kind of how it's laid out and things. So our goal certainly is to reach as many municipalities as we can through this program and have those groups participating in cross-functional teams. So if there's some qualifying bullets here of who would qualify to access the grant funded program. And so there's more details on our website as well, but you're employed by a local government or town, city, region, districts, etc., an elected official. You're employed by a nonprofit or corporation perhaps that has a shared services agreement with the municipality, utilities or transit, conservation authorities, etc. You would also qualify if you were employed by an Indigenous community that had a shared services agreement with a neighboring municipality, or an elected official of that Indigenous community, or an Indigenous community that operates under the delegated authority by a province or territory. So something like the Métis Settlements, Council of Alberta, etc. So certainly it's a range of availability there for people that have either employed with municipalities or some sort of shared services, etc. Missing my, sorry, extra slide. The delivery plans. Course 1 is delivered live online over 5 full days. And this is a special delivery of Course 1 because of the compression of the program through the grant funding. So it allows us to do Course 1 live online over 5 days, and we have 4 cohorts that we're going to be offering spaces to. So Course 1 start dates are a bit staggered, as well, and they're a bit sometimes in different time zones, so you can check out the website for more information, and we'll send you some links after the meeting today. But generally, you're going to be logging in for this Course 1 and listening to a variety of instructors lead you through the curriculum, including Cliff and some others. That then there'll be also group work and other ways to collaborate as well within Course 1 for those 5 days that are structured over a 2-week period. So a little bit of a gap there to allow you to kind of balance work and life and education as well. Course 2 through 6 is delivered asynchronously online. So for those that don't know what that is, it's different than live online. You won't be logging in to complete, sitting in a class for a live session at a specific day or time of the week. Instead, you'll log into the course classroom each week to complete lessons. And so each course is 10 weeks long. So you'll have 10 weeks of lessons each week to complete. You're logging in to complete your readings and activities for each of those lessons in each course, and participating via the discussion forums and other ways that you kind of collaborate and share and learn from one another as well in that asynchronous classroom. So there's some flexibility there to set kind of your own schedule each week, but it's certainly a good idea to have a plan of when you're going to be using those hours, just to ensure that you're staying on top of the curriculum and things, because there's about 30 hours of lesson time, we call it, and for the 10-week period, as well as at least 60 or more hours of reading, etc. So you're definitely going to be online for 9 or more hours each week doing each of those lessons. It's certainly a big commitment. However, it is some amazing learning. So you sort of you get out what you put in as well to it. So we just We do hear that quite a lot, that just the immense amount of learning that people have taken over each of those courses. Course 2, we will begin in July, and it will run through till October. We have a bit of a break in there to allow for, some things that may be happening. I know it's budget season as well in the fall, and different priorities that municipal practitioners may have. So we've kind of extended that into October for course 2. Course 3, 4, and 5, 6, they go one right after the other following that. So in November, you'll see course 3, February, and for course 4. Course 5 will begin next spring, and then course 6 will after a summer off, you'll have course 6, which will be in September and complete before the end of the grant program in November of 2023. And so the schedules and times are all available online, and much of the detail. The program registration fees you'll also see online. The grant program that we've received allows 90% of the program costs to be covered. So this registration fees and the full tuition for the program is significantly supplemented by that grant. And so it certainly makes it much more accessible. FCM's goal was to certainly make it accessible to those, especially small municipalities that may not have a lot of budgets for training, etc. And so by removing the burden of the fees, then certainly this makes it a lot more accessible for folks. So we hope you can take advantage of that. In addition to the registration fees for the full program, you will also have material that will be in most of the courses. We estimate across all of the courses is about $400 in material for different textbooks, etc. for the courses, plus the ISO standards, which is very valuable to have, and usually one per municipality is fine. So we're looking for a commitment to take all 6 courses in pursuit of the CAMP certification. And this during this first phase of the project, as we kick off course 1 and then into the rest of the courses. There are going to be more opportunities for course 1 and a path into the program later on in our phase. So in the fall, later in the fall, we'll likely and early next year offer additional course 1 offerings as a path into the other remaining courses. But at this point, when you would download the registration application forms from the website, you'll find the package for the full program to do that. So there are a number of municipalities that have participated in similar initiatives. This will be the 3rd time we are running this AMP program for cross-functional municipal teams. We have a group of municipalities that are just finishing off course 6 right now, and within a few weeks will be qualified to be our newest CAMP certified practitioners. And we had a few years ago another group, large group, over 100 or so participants come through the program as well. This is just a sampling of the municipalities, but it definitely ranges from coast to coast and sizes as well. So large, small, medium, and different responsibilities, etc. So the application process, again, I mentioned you can go to our website and we'll send you the links after this, but there is a 3-part application package for the program. So first, you'll need a letter of support or a letter of commitment from your municipality that confirms that there is support within your municipality for you and your team to be taking this program, and it lays out the commitment involved in it. There is also a team application in which you'll put the members of your cross-functional team that are going to be providing, going through the course with you. And each of those team members also have a participant application where they'll just be able to provide their information and understand from a participant's perspective the information about the program. So usually it's, a lead person at a municipality that's kind of responsible for these forms and gathering them all up and then sending them in. So once they're all gathered, you can send them back to to PMAC at fcm_amp@pmac.org in order to submit your applications. Our initial deadline is May the 6th. We continue to accept applications until the program quota is filled. So by all means, download the applications and submit them when you have your details ready. But because the AMP course 1 first starts in May, we definitely want to have the people that apply for that first May courses in course 1s to be notified. So that's why we're setting an initial date there. Okay. I think I'm done, and I'm sure there's going to be questions. I thank you, Edith. I see in the chat too for lots of questions going on, but certainly if there's any questions about the program, the AMP program, or this special initiative for municipalities, I will say that perhaps you, after seeing who may qualify for this grant-funded program, and perhaps you don't fit into that window of organizations that would qualify, there is still an opportunity to participate in the AMP program. It is offered through Northern Lakes College, and it's the same curriculum, and it leads to the same certification, and it's open to anyone in municipalities or beyond. So this general public schedule for the AMP program is found at Northern Lakes College website, and they have courses that the next semester of courses begin in April, in a few weeks. So certainly there is lots of opportunity to participate or not. Okay,
thanks,
so
Nicole. So I just wanted to get to you, Nicole, before you. People have been asking about those slides. Can they get a copy after this is done?
Yes, for sure. So we have recorded the session, and so a link to the recording as well as a PDF copy of these slides will be sent to everybody that's registered today, for sure.
Perfect, thank you. And yes, Northern Lakes College, we do have courses coming up April 12th for the public offering. And if you are with a municipality, then you just have to let us know if you're going to apply for the FCM one, and withdraw right away so that we can do that. So I think that answers your question. Yep. Yes, Ian, just send an email right away to let us know if you're going to apply for this one. But again, the approval process for who gets to take the FCM Asset Management Professional Program goes through PMAC, and you need to apply there and get approval for that. I did just want to go back to Maggie's question, Nicole. She's asking about, does more than one person from a municipality have to participate?
Yes, it's a good question. And so FCM would prefer that 2 or more people participate from an organization. So usually the teams are at least 2 or more people. There is exceptions to smaller municipalities, and that would be 100,000, population of 100,000 or less in your municipality, if that's what they would consider small. Then there's an exception, and 1 person could participate from that organization. If your municipality is beyond that 100,000, did I say 100,000 population, then just send us a note and we can talk about it, the requirements and the space that we have available and things. Yep, if you're just participating by yourself. Yeah, Randy has his hand up as well. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, Nicole, I just have a 2-part question actually. I'm already in the MMP program through Northern Lakes and about half completed. And my first question, I was wondering if you could draw a comparison between the MMP and AMP program as to like workload and subject materials covered in both programs. And the second part of the question is my capstone project. If I decided to move forward with the CAMP program, my capstone for both MMP and AMP would be completed about the same time. Can I do one capstone for both designations?
So Cliff,
you want me to
want to help answer
one?
that last one?
Yeah, I can answer
the
both.
first
Yeah.
question. Okay.
The MMP program is as you're seeing is very much an instructional program, and I taught MMP for many years, and it's different to the AMP program in that the AMP program, it provides you with topics and requires you to do some research, some thought process, and come up and kind of hypothesize and present your viewpoint and support it. So there, the learning is different. The other difference, big difference, is that with MMP you have a classroom setting and you join and you have that lesson every week. The AMP program, it's asynchronous. You figure out when you want to work on it during the week. There are assignments or discussion topics or readings that you have to comment and hypothesize on. When you do it, it is prescribed, that yes, it has to be done by, but it hasn't to be done on. So the learning processes are different. And the delivery structure is different. So they're not that similar in the delivery. The capstones, I think, would end up being very different. As you look for an improvement project for the MMP capstone, what you're actually doing is for the AMP program, is you're developing and demonstrating how you understand how a particular asset impacts and is impacted by asset management throughout the organization. It's kind of specific. So I would doubt very much if you could use one capstone. I can't really think of, but who knows? You can give it a try. We never say never. And so we've had some questions on here, and I've said I don't think so, and then lo and behold, I've been shown you can by the students. So yeah, but very different delivery, and there would be probably very different capstone.
Perfect. Thank you for the
Thanks,
information.
Cliff. Hopefully. And we can certainly take it offline too, Randy, if you have other questions and a kind of a plan in place. There's some questions in the chat. I'm just going to scroll up. Hopefully I don't miss any here, but there is another question about people that perhaps have taken other courses. There's a few of them I see. Maybe they've already completed course 1 or some of the courses, but not all of the courses. And certainly if you are interested in participating in partial program, that is a possibility if space is available. And we generally do make space for folks. So I can't see we've ever had a time where we've turned people away over these last few years. But what I would recommend is that you still complete those application forms that you find on the website and just put a note on there that says you've already completed course 1, for example, and you would like to be placed into a cohort starting in course 2. If space is available, and we'll keep you on the list and let you know if space does become available. Like I said, we definitely have lots of room right now, and we've not had an experience where we've never been able to find people space. So you certainly are welcome to take some of the courses if you have already taken some. You don't need to redo anything. There's a question about others applying in an organization. So if you send us an application or share your interest, even sharing your interest from municipality, and we know that there's others from your municipality that have also shared an interest in the program, we will let you know. We'll connect you to the others, and then you can form a team together. Usually we catch this before the applications are sent in, but certainly if we receive 2 different applications from the same municipality, we'll go back to the individuals and ask that they resubmit with 1. So we are able to help facilitate some of that and connect you with others in your organization that are interested in also taking the program. I think I answered.
So
completed
MacPool,
1, 2, and 3. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Mac will ask the question about the Ministry of Municipal and Community Affairs of the Government of Northwest Territories.
Yeah. So I'm not sure, Magpool. I think perhaps, but what I'm going to do is take that offline. And there are some organizations that we're not sure, and then I go back to the contacts at FCM just to double check if they would qualify. So I'll take that offline and look into that, and to just see if you would also qualify for the municipal program, for sure. I'm taking note, and we'll get back to you.
And for teams, do they have to if they're over 100,000 people? So that was Matt's question. They have a population of 130,000. Can they do it individually, or do they have to sign up with the team?
So the preferences by FCM is that organizations over 100,000 in population do have a team, and they consider a team to be 2 or more people. So it is ideal to have a team. However, there are exceptions. And so certainly if you are interested and there is no other people interested in joining, then by all means, you can still send in your application, and we'll definitely try to work with you. The program does still require that commitment letter from your organization, so you'll need to have the support of your organization to participate in this funded program. But certainly there's some ways that we can work with people having a team or no team. Yeah. What's the benefit to be qualified in the municipal program? So it is this is the same asset management professional program that's delivered to the general public. So I suppose the benefit in this program is that it is supplemented by the FCM grants by 90%. So the benefit is that because of the FCM grants, the registration fees for participating in this program, in this special offering of the MP program, is certainly a bonus. There also is a cohort approach. So in most cases, the people you'll take course 1 with are the ones that you'll take all the other courses. So each cohort goes through all of the 6 courses together until their final capstone. So you've kind of create some relationships and learning from one another as well in that cohort approach. Deadline to sign up. So we are requesting that applications, initial applications be in by May the 6th or sooner. But there is flexibility on that. The May the 6th deadline is just sort of to support us in building those initial cohorts that are for May. So it is sort of on a first come first served basis as well. So we do encourage you to try to submit applications or at least interest to us right away. But we'll still work with people as long as there's space available and there's interest. Is there an outline as to what is needed in the commitment letter? Yeah, so there, when you go to our website, and I'll send the links after this to everybody, but there are downloads. So there is a commitment letter already available that you just complete by putting it on your municipality's letterhead, and you put your municipality's information on there as well as the participants on the team. So there's some standard content already available, and then you have a senior person, more senior than the person that's on the teams, sign that commitment letter, as well as the participants on the team. So you'll need some signatures, but the content of the commitment letter is already templated out for you.
Radha has a hand up, Nicole.
Oh, sorry, Radha.
Radha.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, sorry, Nicole. I just put my hand up. It's not a big deal. I am sorry I missed my beginning here, and you may have talked about this, but Sorry if I am asking something that has been asked already, but right now what you are offering in May is AMP program, correct? Not the MMP.
Yes, this is the Asset Management Professional Program that's received the funding through the Federation of Canadian Municipalities. So it's the AMP program, that's 6 courses that we will begin to deliver in May with course 1.
Okay, and the MMP would be later, or when is that planned?
So the MMP program is available anytime in the year. Northern Lakes College also delivers that program. It is not available through this municipal cohorts program. It is just in the general public, so anybody can register for that program at any time. And there's some spring offerings each semester. Northern Lakes College has a vast schedule of those courses that you can take at your own pace. With the schedule that's available. The MMP program is not supplemented by this FCM grant. It's just the AMP program.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I see a question about members from a municipality having to participate within the same cohort. Traditionally it is yes. So we do put the teams from one municipality usually in the same cohort. The difference to that is that perhaps they may not all be able to take course 1 at the same time. So because course 1 is offered 4 different dates. So if somebody is, if there's a team of 3 people, for example, from one municipality, and they're taking course 1 differently, in course 2, we may move things around so they're in the same cohort for course 2 and beyond. But it is sometimes the case where they're not always together because of dates and availability for course 1. But we do try to keep the municipal teams together and learning together through those cohorts. Yeah. Did I answer? Any other questions I missed, Edith? Or?
I don't think so. You got the last one about the program reaching max capacity.
So we do have space in each of the cohorts for 25 people, and there is flexibility there. So we do have space for, I'll say about 100 practitioners. And we've always been able to accommodate in most cases, even especially this last cohort. But I will say that as the people find paths into some of the cohorts, they have been full. So I'm just thinking of this last cohort. So reach out to us, though. We certainly have a maximum number of cohorts we can offer. There's definitely, we have sort of a maximum that we can have space in each of those cohorts. But if there's an interest, we'll try to help and support you in where we can to find you a path to the learning. Great, a lot of great questions. Thank you, everyone. I'm just going to flip back to put this page back up. This is great. I really appreciate everybody connecting with us today and having all your great questions. It's really exciting, the interest. We're very thrilled to be offering this municipal program again. So reach out anytime you have any questions, and we'd be happy to assist.
Thanks so much, Nicole, for giving all this great information about the program, and Cliff for the presentation explaining the program. This was great. Thank you, everyone, again for getting online. I am going to stop the recording. If you do have questions you still want to ask, you can stay online and we'll answer whatever we can. Thanks so much for getting online today.